Down the main straight here, heading up towards the corner turn. On the mountain straight, this is Bow and Stephen Richards. Oh, listen to the crowd, because that means a couple of things.
Holy moly.
Safety car for one, you'd expect, Billy.
Yep. And the other is a very cranky Aussie male team.
He is well and truly stuck there. You can see him gesturing to the rescue crew. Come on, get me out, get me out. And that's going to be a full course yellow.
Oh, this adds an entirely different scope to this race.
Well, it was just settling down to some sort of finishing pattern, and all of a sudden this is going to compress that field. Murphy, Skaife on his bumper. Let's have a look at the Strathfield replay, Neil.
Well, Richo was screaming on the radio just prior to this. He'd lost his patience, and he gets, well, I don't know, he gets up the inside. You can see it from both sides. Obviously, one half are going to say one thing and one half the other. The stewards will look closely. That's the angle, actually. I'd like to see that slower to see how far up the side Richo got. And these two will obviously blue about it. Neither party's going to be happy. Here's another angle again. We've got lots of angles of this. Early on, it looks okay, but was he far enough up the inside at the critical point?
Looks like he's alongside the B pillar there,
yeah,
in terms of the technical adjudication of it. There you go, he's right in the
From
B
that
pillar.
angle, it doesn't look as convincing, though, does it? Oh, dear. Anyway, upstairs, in fact, about 10 metres from where we're sitting, they'll be looking at these pictures with the same sort of intensity, and they'll make the judgment call, not us.
The ramifications are huge. With 11 laps to go, Tim Schenken and Race Control have called on the safety car.
That's Tim in the white shirt, standing in the middle there. Brad Jones. It's believe it. Greg Rust?
Really soul-destroying. Brad, you've had a chance to look at it. Can you give us your, objective opinion on it?
Jeez, it's not that easy to be objective, Look, you've got to be up to the B pillar, and he wasn't up to the back door. What can I say? I mean, racing's racing, but really, at the end of the race, it's pretty disheartening when something like this happens and the wrong bloke's in the sand. Stevie's out there doing the best he can. They're having a good dice. Stuff happens.
You put your head in your hands there before. Just describe how you feel right now.
Sick. I mean, you work all day, and we got back up to 5th, and it was a good result, all things considered. So, we were not going to be on the podium anyway unless a miracle happened. But to come this far and get within 10 laps to the end and then go in the sand and, drop a lap or two, it's pretty hard to take. But, that's why it is.
Hard luck, Brad.
Thanks, Rusty.
Larry, you've seen the replay over and over. What's your take?
Oh, it's pretty clear. Richo's been blocked for at least 10 laps, and he's been on the radio to us complaining bitterly, what can we do to get Bow to play the racing game, not the blocking game. He got well down, well past the A pillar, and all Bow had to do was give him room, but obviously Bow didn't want to do that, and he's come off second best, and I imagine he's crying now. Well, I think he deserved the, he brought it on himself.
I guess there's been no communications from race control to you guys?
No, there shouldn't be. You're allowed to get down to the A pillar. He was well past A pillar. Bow knew he was there. All Bow had to do was not turn in front of him and give him room. Now, not much to ask for a guy, especially of his experience, but he didn't want to do that, and he came off second best.
Thanks, Larry.
We've just relayed some of that information to Brad. What do you think about what Larry had to say?
Well, I appreciate that this is Larry's last time at the event. He's been a fantastic ambassador for the sport, and he's done really well. But when he was wobbling around in front of Lowndes and myself and Radicic and a whole heap of guys, 2 seconds slower than us, not one of us punted him off the road. He may think that JB got his just desserts, but they're racing hard. There's rules, and we all abide by them. And the rules are you don't run into people. So while Larry might think that that's okay and we got what we deserved, it's not like that at all. When he was wobbling around, we didn't hit him. It's just not fair.
Thank you.
Well, that's that. And JB now manages to get out of the ditch.
Great misfortune for the Aussie male team. One positive aspect to this in terms of the showbiz side is it sets up a fascinating finish here because it's bunched the field up.
It certainly has. Murphy will now have to hold off Skaife and Lowndes in particular. Those three fighting for the podium. We will come back for the finish. The dash to the end of a long, long day on the mountain.
Black flag, they've just black flagged Skaife, so he's going to have to come in.
Oh-ho. This will be interesting. Down into the chase for the first time. Murphy leading this one. This is on board Skaife. I'm sure he's been given the news by now. It's official.
He has been by his own team.
Has to report to pit lane and get that swinging door secured.
And he's gone past the pit lane entry. He's going to discuss it more with his team.
Well, he can almost taste it. Look, he's got the lead there, well within view. He's not going to give that up easily. He'll be arguing that the team is going to argue on his behalf for the next few laps and maybe getting out of it. Don't like his chances. So Mark Skaife continuing. Murphy leading, 1.2 seconds the gap after that lap. Lowndes, there's a few cars back in the queue. He's third with Ellery right behind him. So there's the battle for first. And then a big gap back to Craig Lowndes. Here he comes in the Caterpillar Falcon, and there's Ellery.
It's going to promote Lowndes into second and Ellery to third. And Ellery, who's been short shifting to conserve fuel, is now, as you said before, off the leash. And he can go after Lowndes. He's had great car speed. In fact, if anything, he might have had a bit more than Lowndes. Has he got enough at the right end of the day?
So good to see this team stepping up to the plate at the right time of the year. There were rumours that Super Cheap Autos may have been taking their money elsewhere. But the performance of this team at Sandown and Bathurst, head and shoulders above just about everyone else. It's been an outstanding comeback. Single car operation based in Queensland.
Extraordinary pressure building as we head towards the very final laps of this 1,000 kilometre event. 6 hours and 17 minutes on the race clock. Greg Murphy leading Mark Skaife. Lowndes in third. We're on board with fourth position, Stephen Ellery.
Still some discussion over the flag that was shown to Skaife. We'll confirm that for you.
Yeah.
Time running out here.
Robbie Starr's on the radio to him, and he's coming in.
1.2 seconds the gap last time around. Look at him, he's still got his head down. Attitude on the car. He's absolutely driving the wheels off it, but he's got to come in. Huge roar from the crowd. So close yet so far for Mark Skaife. Aiming at the hat-trick in 2003. Look at that door swinging. And the Holden Racing team crew will be ready with the magic tape. Slap it over that seal and get this car back into business, but his crack at the lead has gone. That's all it needed.
Well, it's all over in terms of the winner, provided Murphy gets it done now.
Greg Rust.
Let's try and have a word to maybe Jeff Prix about this. Mark Skaife was shaking his head at the wheel at the time. Jeff, what is your take on this scenario? What do you think about it?
I don't know, Greg. I really don't want to comment. I mean, you saw the door lock had broken because Bow hit it, and it could open that far. I mean, spoiler boots are allowed to go. Like, there was no danger to anyone. I can't believe it. Like 15 laps. It's been like that for 15 laps. You read what you think about it.
You can feel the steam coming out of Jeff Prix' ears, boys.
Certainly can, because
I reckon he would have been struggling with his words there, because he'd be listening in the other ear to what Mark Skaife's saying, and it wouldn't be pleasant.
I doubt it, mate. I'll have to see when you come back around this lap. The next bloke will be, I think, it's Radicic on the same lap.
So his crack at a hat-trick mountain wins has gone. Still soldiering on, still getting position cues from Robbie Starr on the headsets. Still pushing hard until that checkered flag falls. Darryl?
Bruce Ellery, Sandown was a terrific result. Things are going terrific here as well.
Yes, I'm just very happy with the job the boys have done. Steve and Luke have drove the car brilliantly. Those first two stints of Steve's was the best I've seen him drive ever, I'd say. We're hanging in there at third. We've got Stephen Richards and Jim Richards closing on us. So let's see what happens. But whatever happens, I'm just so proud of the lot of them.
Are you surprised with Skaife's incident?
No, I'm not. If it had been us, we would have been in 10 laps ago.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thanks, Darryl.
Well, the Mark Skaife ruling was a steward's decision, and they deemed it to be a dangerous position once the field closed up under that safety car.
Mate, you've got to keep the intensity up. The rickshaws are doing mid-nines behind you. You've got to keep the intensity there.
Explanation. In real terms, it means this. Greg Murphy is 7 seconds clear of second place, which is now Craig Lowndes. Stephen Ellery is third. Stephen Richards is fourth. Jim Richards is fifth. Ritter and Marshall are sixth. Ambrose is seventh on your PlayStation 2 race score. Then it's Radicic, and Skaife drops back to ninth position. Six laps to go.
It's a real shootout here for the minors between Lowndes, Ellery and Stephen Richards.
And the most impressive thing about the Super Cheap effort is the fact that a single car team can still run with the pace with these double car outfits. It's not an easy job going testing with one car. You're only getting one load of data. But when you've got two cars, you can double your testing rate. So the fact that they're running this strongly all day with these multi-car operations, I think they deserve a big pat on the back. And they've taken a big step up at the right end of the year.
Ellery's been complaining a little of a vibration from the front right tyre, which was what Marcus Ambrose was saying earlier as well. So even though he wants to push, he's probably in semi-nurse mode in the places where there's peak lateral load. He wouldn't want to be dropping the car in too hard and too fast at Reed Park at the moment.
Craig Murphy is 7 seconds up the road.
Isn't it amazing with this motor race, we're 156 laps down and it comes down to 7 seconds. Different drivers, different technicians behind the scenes, different engineering philosophies. It's so close after such an intense motor race.
We'll hand it to the boys at FPR. Running 3 cars this weekend. The other 2 haven't been so fortunate, but this Caterpillar car has not only been reliable, but it's 2 drivers, one of the most gifted driver combinations you have in the race this weekend. Glenn Seaton and Craig Lowndes have lifted the performance of that car and the team to find themselves in such a strong position. Second place within 7 seconds of the lead of this motor race.
Stephen Richards was 2/10 quicker on that lap than Stephen Ellery. There's the gap, and there's the gap back to Jimmy Richards behind Stephen. It must have been a bad segment in the middle of the day for the number 2 HRT car, and there's nothing obvious in terms of its pit stops. They may have had a slow stop or just a sequence where they were buried in traffic, but earlier in the day I thought they were well positioned, but they've ended up without good track position at the end of the day despite having pretty good car speed.
Stephen Ellery's got to watch his mirrors here because Richards is gaining on him very, very quickly in car 2. This is the view from the Castrol Commodore, and there's the Super Cheap Autos Ford just in front.
Changing up from 3rd to 4th on the way into Reed Park. It's 175 k's, 200 here.
Oh, look at this, he really is catching him, Crompton.
Pushing hard, 4th gear, big run towards Skyline, just onto 220 k's when Richo grabs the brake in 3rd gear. 2nd gear through the S's and on the way to the dipper. Yanking speed off the car, 85 k's at the apex at the dipper. 2nd to 3rd, it's 145 k's. Back to 2nd for Forest Elbow, and this run down here is sensational.
This is the real hard grind end of the day, isn't it? Everything's dirty, it's noisy, it's smelly. Everyone's tired, and you've still got to attack at 110%. Look at this, he's just trying to break into the aerodynamic draft from the Super Cheap Autos Ford. He's got him in his gun sights, and he's still got a few laps to do it too. Look at this battle here. This is Ellery and Richards fighting over 3rd, the last position on the podium. The Bob Jane Team Marts 1000 for 2003. Boy, this Castrol Commodore's got some speed. He is really closing in on the back of the Super Cheap Ford.
Stephen Richards, not only a 2-time winner here, but makes regular appearances on the podium. Last year, he was 2nd. Right now.
Lap 157, Steve. You're hanging tough, mate. You're hanging tough. It's all just tense, plus or minus, so just go as flat out as you can from here.
He's got fractions.
Stephen Richards made a 10th on him that lap.
Very calm voice of Ian Wally Walburn.
The fastest man in the trio was Jim Richards. He did a 9.4, Stevie a 9.5, and Ellery a 9.6.
So Ian Walburn, who is team manager, chief engineer of the Super Cheap Autos team, just talking his driver through, trying to keep him calm, encouraging him every step of the way. And he's got a hell of a job here. He's got his mirrors full of this Castrol Commodore.
He's going to be under pressure in a tick, isn't he?
He really is. Look at how quickly Richo's managed to close that gap.
Luke Youlden held on under pressure circumstances at Sandown. Now it's Stephen Ellery's turn.
Ellery's going to dig deep here. 52.55 for Ellery. Richo, 52.50.
It's 190 k's across the apex of that turn there at McPhillamy. Back to 220 here on the brakes as they slither down through the It's initially 165 k's, and the speed comes off and off and off and off.
This is a real knock 'em down, drag 'em out sort of fight, isn't it? Look at the body load on Ellery's car and the body language. See it slide on the approach to the elbow.
That cost him.
He's used up a lot of the rubber on this car. I don't think he's got much left. That car has been stepping out on a few corners. He's really using up everything it's got and then some.
The break down the bottom here is amazing. That fast right-hander through the chase is one of the fastest, if not the fastest corner in world road racing. And then they're on the brakes for 4.5 seconds. They wipe off 175 kilometres an hour, and here comes Richo. 100 k's across the face of that corner, accelerating again. By the time they get back down the bottom, it's back to 225 k's, and these guys will throw everything at it in the dying laps.
Ellery's got to keep a cool head here. He's almost home. He's done a brilliant job. Responded to this challenge from the captain.
9.9 Ellery, 9.8 Stevie Richards, 9.4 Jimmy Richards, so Jim's getting closer.
Amazing speed, 158 full laps completed, and they're still in the 209s.
6.8 seconds first to second. That's what the margin looks like between Murphy and Craig Lowndes, and Lowndes has taken a fraction of time away from him. But it's not a serious impression, but it is a bit of ground.
It's tenths and hundredths at this end of the day. Murphy's got a comfortable cushion there. Lowndes is attacking with everything he's got, as is Stephen Ellery, as is Stephen Richards. This podium, they can almost taste the champagne.
Just imagine the nerves. Just imagine the nerves for somebody like Glenn Seaton, sitting back in the garage in his 20th year, knowing that a slip-up by Greg Murphy will put his teammate Craig Lowndes into position 1, but Murph and his partner Rick Kelly have showed no signs of slipping up all weekend.
Look at the speed that Richo's got across the corner face at McPhillamy. This is the leader. And the other thing that Stephen's going to have to contend with, and this would be an unusual puzzle from a race driver, is having your father starting to make manoeuvres on you to try and take you out of position in the late stages of the most important race of the year.
Just thinking about the Richards versus Richards situation, father versus son. It's all happening here as it unfolds. Murphy, 6.8 seconds, the gap over Lowndes. Ellery fighting hard. But the way the rear of that Super Cheap Autos Ford's dancing around on some of these corners, you really are biting your nails now.
On the split times, Marco, I can tell you as Murph's dad looks on, that Craig Lowndes is getting within 0.2 of a second when there's only 3 laps to go. It's not going to etch too deep into Greg Murphy's overall time.
Rick Kelly watching on there alongside the main data man, Eric Pender. Kmart team have done an absolutely brilliant job with this car. They really have done a number on this.
So the difference was 6.8 seconds last time around. It's 6.5 seconds now.
Look at this attack by Jim Richards.
Jimmy goes up against his son Stephen. This is for position, and they get together on turn 1.
That kind of answers that question. I don't think there's any love lost there. Get out of the way, kid.
See Jimmy lock up the rear brakes coming into the turn. He got off, but they collided. Son Stephen takes over the position.
Isn't that awesome? 2 hardcore racers just having a huge go.
How about Richo? Isn't he extraordinary? He's like in his mid-50s. He's got a ticker like Far Lap. He will go for any gap, still as hard as they come.
He's a lunatic, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He loves it.
Drives like a 17-year-old. All the enthusiasm and bravado in the world. Let's look at this again.
You can just feel it brewing and brewing and brewing. You reckon they know that it's father versus son? At this stage, it's just 11 versus 2. Oh, tagged. Could have been a whole lot worse, but Stephen ended up getting his position back. Oh, this is a sad sight for Greg Ritter and Marcus Marshall, who've been up as high as 6th. They were in the top 10 when this has happened, and now they're pulling out.
Just at the moment, you can feel the
here in the Kmart pit bunker. We saw Kevin Murphy, Greg's dad, having a bit of a laugh before. That's the first time anyone's really smiled in here for a good few laps now. Hardly any discussion going on. Everyone very quiet, just focused on their job, and you can feel this sense of anticipation down here. Quiet anticipation.
Rusty, they've been there before, haven't they? Last year, that famous 5 minutes when Murph and these guys were in position to take this race. A lot of the drivers will tell you that along the 161-lap course of this event, there comes a time when you have to snatch it, and it either slides by or stays in your grasp. Murphy's done it before twice. He's got 6.2 kilometres left to go to make it 3. And put Rick Kelly up into the record books as the youngest ever winner at Mount Panorama.
And closes the gap substantially in the points table. Murphy to Ambrose narrows right down.
An extraordinary weekend of pace from the Kmart Commodore. Quickest throughout the first practice sessions.
Lowndes has got pace at the end of the day. 9.5 versus 9.8 for Murphy. It's down to 6.2 seconds, but it won't be enough. And by this stage, all Murphy wants to do is get home. He doesn't want to know about lap records.
They qualified first. Murphy set that amazing, head-shaking, mountain-rattling time in the shootout at 2:06.85. And listen to the Holden fans roar across the top of the mountain, because Greg Murphy is steering the Kmart Commodore to Holden's 5th consecutive victory at the mountain, a record for any manufacturer. Through the dipper he goes. Nervous, nervous times. Around Forest Elbow, the cheers go up again, and down Conrod Straight. Greg Murphy, who started from pole position, the Kiwi, is about to make amends with the mountain. And when you've got this kind of gap, halfway down Conrod Straight, second place is a long way back, 6 seconds in fact. You've got to say that this is the most fun you can have on 4 wheels in Australian touring car racing. Around the final turn, and along with Rick Kelly for 2003, Greg Murphy and the Kmart team are the champions at Bathurst. Craig Lowndes and Glenn Seaton, second position. Stephen Ellery, congratulations to car 31 and Luke Youlden make up our podium. We take our hat off to Stephen and Jim Richards in 4th and 5th. You got to say that yesterday was probably one of the highlights of Greg Murphy's career with that pole lap. Today, I reckon...
As you're driving in, just drive over all the shit, pick up as much stones and weight and crap as you can.
Topped it off.
He wants to make the minimum weight.
Greg Rust.
Hey, Rick Kelly, you just won Bathurst. How does that feel?
I know, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's a fantastic job by the team. We certainly showed that we're the best team out there this weekend. Greg's led the timesheets all weekend. It's fantastic.